Hey guys, happy Sunday. We are still here in Minnesota and we just wanted to come and give a quick update. It's been a busy couple of days, and so I just wanted to give you a quick update. So today's day 5 for us here. On Friday, we had a lot of different tests going on. Oscar had some tests that were planned earlier in the week, and then we started getting contacted by the doctor with some of the results. They found some other things that they wanted to look at and do some more testing on. So they wound up booking the rest of his day on Friday with appointments. So we did appointments all day. It was an exhausting day on Friday. We came back to the room just like, that's when we also found out that because of some of the stuff they had found, they extended our time. They needed to run more tests on Monday, and they wanted us to see the doctor, another doctor, on Tuesday. So we have all the stuff we did on Friday, and we were just so tired, so that's why we didn't post a video. And then yesterday we spent just recouping. I think we both were a little surprised at how tired that we were from a day full of testing. His first test of the day yesterday or on Friday, was an MRI, which made him very sick. He came out, he's saying that I didn't know I was claustrophobic.
Didn't realize it. Wasn't so bad until they laid me down, put this mask, not a mask, it was kind of like a helmet, football type helmet. And as soon as they started putting me inside it, I realized it was like, nope, not going to work. So they backed me back out and they were like, what's the matter? I said, nope, it's not going to work. So they kind of had to calm me down a little bit. And I'm like, no, I'm not going back in. I guess I never realized I didn't like tight spaces.
They might all do that for you.
So they kind of, said, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I guess I kind of had to psych myself out a little bit. So they put me back in. I was in there for 45 minutes. So the whole time I'm like, okay, relax, just relax. And as the tests were going on, some of the tests weren't so bad, but towards the end, there was this one particular test that was 4 minutes long. There was 2 of them. And the noise, oh my gosh, it was just killing me. My head just started pounding. It was a vibrating noise. It would go left, right. Then it would just started getting louder and louder. My head started hurting. My head started spinning. And oh my gosh, here comes the salivating. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to upchuck in this thing. Oh wow. I just started picturing myself puking in this thing all over the place. And I'm like, please, Lord, please don't let me puke in this thing. So finally, I was able to manage, and the lady finally said, this is the last test. And I'm like, oh, please hurry up. She said, it's only a minute and a half long. So finally it was over, and then they pulled me out. Oh man, I was so sick. My head was spinning. I couldn't even walk. I was so dizzy. They had to help me out, set me down. They brought the locker in so I could change. I had to sit there for like 10 minutes before I finally got dressed. I managed to walk out, and Gail's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I can't even walk. My head's spinning, my head's pounding. After that, I was useless. I couldn't do anything. And then she's like, oh, we got to run. You got blood test here, blood test there. You got another test. And I'm like, they just pulled the IV out. I wish you would have told me. I would have told them to leave it in. So we just spent running around, getting blood tests done, had to get prescriptions. And I mean, we were just running all over the hospital.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was just, by the time we finally ate, came back, got my medication, and came back to the hotel, I think she just gave me my medication, and I just crawled into bed, and I just pretty much I was out of it for the rest of the night. It was horrible.
Yeah. So, and it was an emotional day too, because some of the stuff that the results they found and things like that were things we didn't know. So that was a little, I think, emotional too. And so just being tired, overwhelmed, sick, on top of just being a little emotional, that's difficult as well. So it was a tough day. Like I said, yesterday was a day of resting and recovering. We did venture out to eat once and did make it down to the pool for a little bit just to kind of rest and relax the body. And that was really, I think that was nice.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
that was nice.
Still trying to convince him to put me in an in-ground pool in at the house. So I felt like that was a good selling
Hey, we got a
point.
water trough.
So, yes, he keeps telling me to get in the cow's water trough to swim. So Anyway, so on Monday he's got more testing, and then Tuesday, like I said, he's going to have the shots and stuff done. The one thing I wanted to mention was that, the whole purpose of us coming here was to get answers and to find out why he's been in pain, what's caused so much of this. And we know that, right off the bat, the doctor felt like he had spinal meningitis, and that maybe it just wasn't treated there. Clearly they didn't do an MRI because he thought he'd had an MRI, but when he came out of the MRI here, he's like, nope, I'd never had that before. So, so it was good to get the appropriate tests done. And during that process, like I said, there's some different things that came up that were concerning to the doctors. So, at this point, we have a lot of question marks. But the word that the Lord gave me before we came was fearless. And the women in our women's group, we're fixing to have our women's encounter, or whatever they call it. And the theme of it is fearless. And so they were talking about that on Sunday before we left. And the Lord just kept repeating that in my heart, you and Oscar are fearless, and you're going to be fearless. And no matter what you face when you go up there, you do not fear, because we believe God's report, not man's report. It doesn't mean we don't obey the doctors and do what they say to do, but we do that in an act of faith, knowing that regardless of what it is, all healing comes from God. So if the healing comes through the physician, God gave that healing ability to the physician. But we know that some of this is probably going to require a divine healing, and we know that God specializes in that. So we appreciate your prayers so much. They genuinely are being felt. We have had favor because extending your trip out of town by 3 days isn't the easiest task, but we were able to get our flights moved, extended our stay here at the hotel. And so God has been showing us favor. So again, thank you to those who sent us here to help us get the answers that we needed. And we certainly got more answers than we expected. And I anticipate that in the next year, as Oscar goes through treatments and whatever it is that's required for him and he heals, we're going to end this year stronger than we began this year, both of us. So I appreciate your prayers. I do ask that you continue to pray for wisdom and direction for the doctors, for peace for us, and strength to do whatever it is that he needs us to do. So hope that you guys enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. We will probably be not watching it, but maybe watching the commercials. I like the commercials, honestly. That's what I usually do, is DVR the Super Bowl, wait till it's over, and just watch the commercials and fast forward through the games. So anyway, so hope you guys have a great week. I will try to post a video on Monday evening letting you know how the testing and everything went. And then again on Tuesday evening, we will hopefully have a lot more solid answers. So we do know already that we do have to come back up in 3 months, and we have to come back up in 6 months. So I think that's April and July we'll be back. So we're looking at buying a house here. No, I'm kidding. So we know that God has a plan and he'll work it out. And so we've just been asking the Lord to use us here any way that he can, be a blessing to everyone that we come in contact with, and just take it a day at a time. So we love you guys. Thank you so much. You can always text us, call us if you have any questions or concerns. And we love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.